Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's Slayer Sunday, where I'll be talking about and reviewing all the episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in order. Today, I'm looking at Season 4, Episode 7, The Initiative. We begin the episode with Riley and his friend Forrest in the cafeteria talking about Buffy. Forrest thinks she's hot, and while Riley agrees, he argues that she's weird and acts distantly, so wouldn't be someone he'd want to date. Spike, meanwhile, wakes up in a white room. An electrified white room, one of many in some sort of facility, and into the credits we go. Giles and Xander are hanging out, and Giles decides the commandos must be human, and therefore he and Xander won't be needed once again. So Xander suggests they summon a demon to fight. Buffy interrupts this dumb plan to tell them she's going to a party. Buffy, did you really come all the way to Giles's to tell him about the all-night rager you're going to, and then just leave? Spike is pacing his cage when a blood bag drops down from the ceiling, but his cell neighbour, that vamp from Sunday's gang that got caught, warns him it's drugged. He says they're going to be experimented on and then killed, so Spike assumes it's Buffy. And I guess electricity can't hurt you if you're angry enough. Willow approaches Riley to discover Oz has been booted from the class, and Professor Walsh yells at her for wanting allowances to be made for him, so Buffy yells at her for being cold about the whole thing.
I like her.
Giles is hanging out with Xander in his basement, and he's fully loaded to take on the commandos. Riley tells Forrest how Buffy told off Walsh, and while Forrest is impressed, Riley thinks she's nuts. Parker walks in, so Forrest asks him about his fling with Buffy. He's very derogatory about her, and when he laughs about using her, Riley punches him in the face. Afterwards, Forrest scolds him for being reckless and asks why he did it, and Riley admits what his friends already knew. He has feelings for Buffy. Some scientists come to take an unconscious Spike, but he's not so unconscious and attacks them. His cell neighbour begs to be set free, so Spike knocks out the guards and complies, and they both race for the exit. They get trapped.
New plan, we split up. You go that way.
And Spike keeps running. Riley goes to Buffy and Willow's room. What is with this demon dog? And he admits that he wants to ask her out, but doesn't know how to go about it.
But I'm interested in what she likes. And so far, well, the only thing that I know she likes is you.
He wants to know how best to talk to Buffy, and Willow gives a speech which not only foreshadows their relationship and mirrors her and Oz's, but also the Season 5 episode Into the Woods. Riley realises Willow's not going to help, but she realises he may just be different, so decides to help him out a little, and tells him that Buffy is going to be at a party that night. Spike makes it home to get slapped by Harmony after the events of In the Harsh Light of Day, but he's able to win her around pretty quickly, except she's not a fan of his plan to kill Buffy. Giles and Xander hide out in the bushes while Buffy and Willow rock up to the party, which just so happens to be at the house Riley lives in. Willow breaks away to talk to him and gives him advice, as well as a warning.
If you hurt her, I will beat you to death with a shovel.
Riley takes Willow's advice and goes to talk to Buffy, but dorks it up to 11, while Xander comes across Harmony and they get into a rather hilarious and sometimes slow-motion bitch fight before calling it a truce. She tells him that Spike is back before burning his stuff, and Riley finds comfort in Willow after his colossally shitty attempt to talk to Buffy. A dingo song comes through the speakers, which upsets Willow, so Riley comforts her and gets the song changed. He then goes to try again with Buffy, but is interrupted by Xander, who drags her away. Forrest mocks Riley, then tells him he's needed downstairs, so the three of them get scanned and go down in a lift, and it's revealed that they're special agents for the Initiative, an organisation of demon hunters. And is that a monster from Go Fish? It's further revealed that Maggie Walsh is in charge, and Hostile 17, aka Spike, is top priority right now, and they all move out to recapture him. Buffy complains that Spike is ruining her night off, just like this ugly dragonfly lamp is ruining the decor, and she decides she's going to go after him alone and plans to kill him. On her way out, she reluctantly takes the flare gun off Xander in case she gets into trouble, but Spike seems to be caught up in office paperwork anyway. He goes down the list of names, which includes shout-outs to a bunch of the show's crew, until he finds Buffy's room number, and geez, 905? How many rooms are in Buffy's hall? The boys are out hunting Spike when they spot Buffy, and Forrest suggests they use her as bait, but Riley is like nope and goes to talk to her. They both try and get the other one to move along and get into an argument, but a scream draws both their attentions and they run off in different directions. The commandos get a lock on Spike's signal while Willow mopes in her room and accidentally invites Spike in. She tries to run, but that goes badly, and he offers to make her a vampire. He attacks her, and despite her efforts to fight back, he bites her. Spike discovers that every time he tries to bite Willow, he's overcome with pain, and Willow gets upset because she thinks she repels guys. Spike tells her not to be silly, that he'd bite her if he could. He's thought about it before, which cheers her up a bit, and they have a cute little conversation.
Why don't we wait a half an hour and try again? Or...
The power is cut and the commandos rush in, with Willow jumping them by accident, followed by Spike. They restrain him, but while they're debating what to do with Willow, Spike escapes, knocking a few commandos around, and Buffy sets off the flare gun in the hall, fighting the commandos while Spike jumps out the window. Maggie Walsh is not happy that Spike seemingly has an unidentified accomplice, but Riley confirms that the implant in Spike's head that prevents him from hurting anyone is working. Riley meets up with Buffy and they have a semi-awkward conversation to end the episode. Alright, after Oz's departure, this episode sets up a lot of things to come. We of course get a look at the initiative and both Riley and Walsh's involvement in it, which will feature heavily for the rest of the season. We also see the beginnings of Riley and Buffy's relationship, which will span a couple of seasons, and I love the dynamic between Willow and Riley. Their scenes together are great, despite Willow still being heartbroken, and it echoes the ease in which the two of them struck up a conversation when they first met at the beginning of the season. I'll say it now, Riley is my favourite of Buffy's boyfriends, and we'll discuss them more we go through the episodes. We of course get Spike having his chip installed, which makes him so much more fun and interesting going forward, but there's a lot of inconsistency about his chip in this episode. From this point on, Spike is unable to hurt a human, even accidentally, without his chip activating. But during this episode, Spike fought his way out of the initiative, hurting several people along the way, and violently attacked Willow twice before it activated, when he tried to bite her. Then when he was fighting his way out of the dorm, it activated sometimes and not others, which seems like a pretty major error, but I'm glad they kept the consistency up after this. I feel like I'm repeating myself every episode, but Xander and Giles were pretty redundant once again, being given very little to do, with Giles just disappearing completely partway through. But at least we got that goofy fight between Xander and Harmony, which is something. Initially, I didn't notice any deaths, but after doing some research, I went back and took another look. And yes, we have one vampire death, Tom, Spike's short-lived escape partner, who got staked by initiative just as the door closed, which brings our running total to 1 human, 1 transformation, 6 vampires, 1 demon, and 1 werewolf. So there you have it. That was the initiative. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want more videos like this one. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channel, Jane Plays Games Badly. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and don't let the vampires bite.